Hello everyone, it's Jayato and welcome to my channel. Today I'll be discussing my biggest annoyance with K-pop right now, the lack of a bridge in music. I feel like the bridge's disappearance in K-pop isn't something that's nearly talked about enough, especially because a good bridge plays such an important role in a song's composition. I mean, even just a few years ago there wasn't a single bridge groups like Red Velvet and Loona couldn't cross. But now most of these 4th and 5th gen groups could not be hard pressed to make their songs even a little over 2 minutes and 15 seconds long. I find it very disappointing because unlike many overexposed K-pop fans, I actually quite like the current tracks being released by these K-pop groups and feel like we've re-entered some sort of golden age of fresh and unique K-pop songs. But even though so many K-pop releases are so good, they're just so short-lived and exhaustive on extended plays because they lack depth and don't give themselves the time to properly flesh out all of their elements. Oh, and before we get on with the video, here's a little disclaimer. I will be using Newjeans as my biggest example in this video, and that's not because I have some sort of secret vendetta against them, but simply because they're some of the biggest offenders of groups who just kill their own music by taking productional shortcuts like not including a bridge. Plus, they're trendsetters in their own right, so most of the K-pop industry takes inspiration from them or just straight out copies their homework. I really love Newjeans' discography, so I promise this video won't be unfairly targeted against them. They're just my biggest example. Oh, and just in case someone wants to bring this up as some sort of gotcha, I understand this isn't exclusive to K-pop and has affected all spheres of music, but this is a K-pop channel and you clicked on a K-pop video, so obviously I'll be focusing on the K-pop aspect of this problem. Alright, now let's get on with the video. So what is a bridge and why does it work? In music, the bridge is the most distinct section of a song that typically plays after the second chorus and before the last chorus. The bridge provides contrast to a song and adds variety compared to previously established sections. Here are a few examples of bridges. K-pop music can be very full and energetic, so in K-pop the bridge often relieves built-up tension from a song and gives opportunity for the main vocalist to shine. A lot of the most effective and beloved songs in K-pop are the ones that are very noisy and explosive but switch to a calming melodic bridge that gives the song a true heartbeat of its own right. Here are a couple of the most influential songs with that structure. And bridges don't just have to be about relieving tension. Let's look at aespa and NMIXX for some examples of bridges that add variety and build onto otherwise minimalistic songs. aespa's Savage is very sparse in its production, rarely using more than 4 different elements at a time, and using very spaced out plugs and synths. Instrumentation wise, the song is pretty MD, building up ever so slightly every time a new verse is added or a chorus repeats, until we get hit with the bridge and the song changes an entire key to D major, and for one time in the song's production is it clear and full, and everything just comes together. Ningning and Winter get a chance to shine and it's very pretty. For Next Level, minimalism is the song's bread and butter, and not a single section changes for the first 1 minute and 45 seconds of its runtime. Now you can argue the first melodic switch up is the bridge or the beat drop B section is the bridge, so in an attempt to appease everyone I'm just going to consider both of them the bridge, but with more emphasis on the B section because it's more interesting. So because Next Level spent so much of its runtime doing the same thing and not expanding onto itself, it allowed itself the opportunity to completely switch up the song in every aspect without sounding insanely jarring. You get so used to the flow that when the song finally switches up, it takes you back a little, but it's very welcomed. NMIX's OO tried to do a similar thing, but it did not hold up the same way Next Level did, because while Next Level is dynamic horizontally and not vertically, OO tries to be dynamic both horizontally and vertically, leading to a very messy song. But looking to NMIX songs that did their bridges right, Tink is a perfect example. Unlike Savage and Next Level, Tink is actually pretty layered, but just like those songs, Tink is repetitive. So its slow and beautiful bridge with thumping percussion and Lily's gorgeous vocals is just so fresh and gives the song a ton of replayability. These songs are extremely addictive, and clearly a big part of that is because how much of a payoff their bridges are. If songs like So What and Zimzalabim didn't have these stunning bridges and cut their songs off an entire chorus early, they would be so half-baked and underwhelming, just defaulting onto the same soundscapes instead of offering a true musical experience. It's funny, when I first got into K-pop, one of my favorite aspects was the tug of war from hard-hitting rap sections and noisy choruses and the melodic center of good pre-choruses and bridges. It's the perfect hold of tension and release, and it's so good for a genre like K-pop because it gives all spheres of members a chance to shine. If your song only allows for talk singing and rapping and chanty choruses, you need that section that truly shows your main vocalist can put in the work and aren't there to just sit around and look pretty. But current K-pop music is just so easygoing, and a lot of the songs don't seem to want to take the risk to expand onto themselves. So if the bridge is such an important part of music, why is it disappearing? Money. It's because of money. And what a sad answer, because you're telling me a lot of current K-pop songs are lacking so much oomph and depth that they could have so easily had, just so companies could save a couple of pennies, and we as fans just allow it? You know, I really hate to be one of those, the TikTokification of music is ruining music people, but it kind of is. So many groups now are releasing the most bare bones, barely fleshed out songs and are getting so much attention off of them because fans just trend the chorus, praise their 16-year-old mothers, and call it a day. I mean, can I blame groups for doing this when people aren't going to listen to the full songs anyways and have the attention span of goldfish? Yes, I can, and I will, because I still appreciate good music, whether the average TikTok viewer does or not. The biggest offender of this problem is HYBE and their groups. And yeah, that's no surprise. For all of the amazing art they put out, they definitely make sure to lather an extra layer of corporate that makes a genre as overproduced and insincere as K-pop feel somehow even more overproduced and insincere. And you know what? I was letting it slide for a while, but these 2-minute songs without bridges are truly my 13th reason, because now it's slowly starting to affect the entire industry. Don't believe me? Let's look at HYBE's group Newjeans. At the time of writing, Newjeans only have 13 songs out, and out of all these songs, how many of them have bridges? 2. Only 2 of Newjeans' 13 songs have bridges, and they aren't even effective bridges at that. In July, Newjeans released their second mini-album, Get Up. I loved it and it was immensely popular. Every one of those songs were some of my favorite songs I've heard in a while, but 4 months later I don't come back to a single track on that album. In fact, I'm already sick with that entire EP. And of course as fans, we'll wear out any music we love by playing it on repeat, but I shouldn't already be sick of a 6-track album even just by a few weeks after its release. So why am I? It's because that 6-track number is deceiving because there's actually very little musical content in each song. Not one track on that album features a bridge or is over 2 minutes and 34 seconds long. I mean, one of the tracks is literally 36 seconds long, and another is 1 minute and 48 seconds long. Call that an interlude or whatever you want, but why does your 6-track mini album need an interlude or bonus track? That's not real music, it's leftovers. Even the meatier songs on the album that have a little more to say, like ETA and Cool With You, would benefit so much from a bridge. Cool With You is so insanely repetitive, playing those same UK garage drums, roadie pads, and 3-word choruses. Even in the last chorus, they couldn't even have the girls do different ad-libs. They just layer the same verse lines on top of the final chorus. A song like this needs a bridge. It needs that defining section to break up the monotony. Don't even get me started on ASAP. The fact that song made it beyond a demo is bewildering to me. The song only has 2 real sections and then just repeats the same verse and pre-chorus and chorus with only a terrible instrumental break to fill it and no bridge. Not even Newjeans' fans could defend it when it released because they felt so catfished from the teasers of that song to its final release. This style of production is just so incredibly lazy. Hybe is $1 million company. It shouldn't look like they can't afford to get all the girls in the studio more than once. I'm so tired of seeing songs with immense potential be shafted by lazy budgetary restrictions. It's really depressing, and I can't cut these companies any slack because I know what it feels like to have to make less compelling art due to a lack of budget. If you didn't know, I'm a producer myself and release music on Spotify. I don't have the money to afford a vocalist for more than 60 seconds, so I don't often get to make music with proper bridges. So seeing these companies do the same thing just because they can and fans will eat it up is insulting. One may argue that these are only supposed to be fun pop songs and don't need to be completely fleshed out since they're supposed to exist for easy listening. And I'm not saying it's wrong to have simple pop songs for the sake of having simple pop songs, but you can have a catchy pop song without siphoning an actual music experience. I mean, look at 50/50's Rest in Peace You Will Be Missed big hit Cupid. Cupid is literally the epitome of easygoing TikTok music, but despite being a typical pop song, it's still a piece of art in its own right that actually appreciates itself enough to flesh itself out, instead of ending the song after the second chorus like the producers so easily could have done. They instead give us a rap, soulful bridge, and an entire key change last chorus. Like, talk about going above and beyond. It turns what could have gone from a 3 listen and you skip it song to an instant classic with actual longevity. And you don't need to bloat your songs to incorporate a bridge that greatly builds your song. Look at Odd Eye Circle's Air Force One. It's only a 2-chorus and post-chorus song, but they managed to include a gorgeous bridge by replacing where the second pre-chorus should be with its own distinct bridge section. It gives the song so much more life and stops it from getting too repetitive too fast. I mean, that whole album is amazing. You should totally check it out. Anyways, all I'm trying to say is that you can really tell which songs fall off fast because of their failure to pay attention to a bridge, and which songs completely skyrocket because of their bridges that tie them all together. And now we're nearing the end of the video. This video may be a bit dramatic and overpassionate, but the bridge is my single most favorite section in music, and with just how many compilations there are of top 10 bridges or best bridges in K-pop, I don't think I'm alone in feeling that way. With short form content being rewarded more and more and music trending to get shorter and shorter, I don't think this is a problem that will go away anytime soon. But I for one will greatly miss the bridge if it ever does go away. So the least I could do is make a 12-minute video ranting about it. If you've come this far into the video, thank you so much for watching. I'm Tegato, and it would mean a lot if you supported this video in any way.